Yo, we're going with more of a vlog today, I guess. Starting a video a little bit sooner because why not? Today, surprisingly or not, we're not gonna do baseball. I don't know, crazy, especially for me lately. The reason is because we haven't done much swordsmanship lately, and I feel like we kind of should. So let's do that. Let us do exactly that. Actually, I can take a couple of pints, I guess. It's not gonna hurt to hit a few, and probably a few of the... You can look at the view, by the way. Beautiful. So this is how I get my pines. You just walk up because we have a giant pine tree above, and every single day a couple of new ones come down, and you can just pick them up and you can smack them around. This one, not that many, just 5 today. I guess we can start with pines, and then later we can just do swordsmanship, because I think this is gonna be one of the first ones I'm gonna do with actually a big sword. So if you've been following, we can do more of a heavy swordsmanship today, which is, let's just say, a bit different than what I accustomed. Let me just set this up in a way that it's not gonna immediately fall. This is the worst part of doing it, just setting up the camera. Yeah, that looks good. So let us go with baseball first, and then we can cook. Ow. Okay, I have to hit. That's better. I have to hit a little bit more early, I think. Ow! Jesus. Okay, I'm doing something wrong. I'm doing something wrong. Ow! Again? Ow! Okay, something is wrong. My back is extremely unhappy about what I'm doing right now. God fucking dang. Ow. should be able to hit this. Like actually like every single time. Okay, that was too far. I'm actually washed. Like I'm actually washed. Okay, I have to turn off. Sometimes when you're training with different things, you gotta turn off your brain. Wait, that's so dark. Can I focus on this? Yeah, that should be better. So sometimes when you're switching between things like baseball and swordsmanship, you gotta like mentally switch your brain. So now now I should be able to just go into swordsmanship and I should be able to hit this. Or I'm just washed. That's also the choice I can take. Or maybe I'm just fucking ass at this. I think I'm just ass, honestly. Wait, let me try something. I think I am just washed, but it might be because both of these sticks are actually like just broken. So I cannot really swing it. I don't know. Like this is also broken, you see? So I cannot really hit this with this side because I fear it's just gonna like completely snap off and I don't want that. Ow! And my back is like seriously not happy today. Oh my. Wow. Look. A magic trick. Crazy. I actually never tried this. I wonder if it's hard. Damn. I can try. I wanted to hit like one and then second, but I'm gonna try to hit both at once. Ay, ay, ay. I was too close, I was too close. I think it's possible. That was close. I think it's easier than I think it is. Maybe I should stop overcomplicating it, just get it. Okay, I'm gonna try both-handed. Maybe that's gonna be a little bit easier to keep my like grip on this. Because again it's like broke. I don't wanna swing it too hard. Okay, I'm gonna try to swing it like hard normally, if I break it, I'm gonna be sad, okay? I didn't actually swing that. I'm gonna try it now. I'm gonna try it. Okay. When they go like up, it's too easy. I gotta like hit it when they're like sideways. That's the idea. Maybe like this. I'm gonna try the actually not broken one, and which is much heavier than the one we're gonna be training with today. But I feel like this should be very easy actually. Like I can hit it like quite easy. The problem is both of these are broken. I'm so fucking pissed that I just broke this one especially. The small one. It was my favorite one. And so now I only got this one to swing. I mean this one's gonna be much harder because it's just heavier. It's gonna be easier if I actually get the timing right. The problem is getting the timing right. I wanna hit it. Shit, man. I wanna hit it because I know it's easy. I'm just like, I just fucking can't. God damn it. That was so shit. I'm just not even counting this. It's so easy to just like hit it like, but it's so whatever, whatever. I'm washed. That's what we get from this. So, give me a second. So let's start. I'm gonna check if it's recording. Jesus. Yes, it is. So, let's go back into training. Now, first we gotta talk about the differences, right? So what is the difference between this and this? Well, this one is heavy. Anything else? Yes, this one is thicker. Now, it's very important that it is thicker. That means it's gonna be actually harder to keep it in the air. To like one path. Because also the edge, as you can see, is not like straight, it's rounded, very rounded. It's very hard to keep this in a straight line, which makes it extremely hard for when you start training. Now, is there any other difference? Well, not really, because both of these are really just a stick, right? Both of these are just a stick. This one is just much heavier, denser, and thicker. That's basically it. Now, this does create a lot of problems. First of all, when you're swinging this, actually let me try the completely broken one. So, while you're swinging, normally you would want to do something like this, right? You want to get your get a little bit of a back angle, right? You do this, and then you want to position your hip a little bit up, and then just right. So this is how you normally would do it. So you see. So this is how you should work when you just position yourself and strike cleanly. The difference with this, if you try to do exactly the same thing, right? You saw just how bad this looked. Now, the reason why it looked bad is because when you're using something soft, something like this, when you're swinging it, you're not actually using your grip. Why does it matter? Try to keep your pen, let's take a pencil or whatever, the pen, and try to keep it in your hand like this stably. It's very easy, right? All you have to do is just relax your arm, put it like whatever, just like this, right? It's stable. Try to do exactly the same thing while actually gripping it like this hardly. Like actually squeezing it to keep it tight. You see what's going on? Look at the shaking. You cannot stop it because you're applying so much force, you're changing the power of the force that's coming here. You're changing a little bit there, 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 there. And because these shifts, if you can, like, so what you're doing is you're applying a little bit more force here, but then your arm is like, oh shit, and then it's like going back. So here, oh, 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 it happens all the time, right? If I rest here, even if I keep like this, it's still gonna be shaking a little bit. Now, that's not the only reason. That's, you may say, you might try it and you say, okay, it's not shaking. There are two potentially reasons for that. Either your grip strength is just not strong enough to do that, or you're actually naturally not able to like keep it very cleanly, which I can't. Now, if you think about it, well, that's very good. That means I'm not gonna have the problem. Well, there's another problem, and the problem is with weight distribution. Now that one is a little bit more problematic. Now, what does that mean? When I say body distribution, while you're swinging something like this, right? Something very light. You see what I did? The only thing I did is moved a little bit up and just left all of my energy there to create this. So I'm not using all basically energy at all. So it's a very kind of a smooth sequence. Now when you're doing this, you cannot do it. And this is basically the most important point you should know. The problem of swinging something heavy is not the part of really even controlling it or even swinging it. While it is a problem, this can be solved with basically just strength, right? There is the biggest problem for it. If that was the only thing, well, that's it. You can go home. Now there's one more issue. You see, while I'm swinging this, realize something. I'm starting a swing, starting in the middle, and I end. Now, what I did for the end is I can also do this. There are two ways to do it, right? I can do this or this. Now, let me show you the exact same thing with the heavy one. You see? It is kind of hard, but it's not that bad. Now the second one. You saw the problem right there? I'm gonna show it to you again. If something is moving fast and heavy, starting it is kind of an issue. But that's only half of the work, because you also have to stop it. And this is the part that I had the most issue about, because of my naturally low frame. I'm quite short. You just don't have the amount of muscle that you should have at, like, let's say my age, to actually just fucking stop this. If you're really, if you were to, because I can show you, there is a way you can just not stop it, and then every single strike you do, it look like this. And you see, this is fast. Like, I'm not doing anything, right? Look, I can do fast swing with this. But this is like, that's not the idea. That is not the idea. You can do this. You shouldn't do this. So the key idea of to be precise, because you can also again do two ways. You can try to swing this like a light one, which basically is how I'm doing it, or just treat it as a separate thing by its own. So with a heavy one, it's very hard to swing it with one arm, which is my preferred style of just swinging it with one. Naturally, you should be doing it with both, because it's just so much easier to control it in the air and also to stop it. And that's why you also gotta make kind of a changes, as you saw what I did basically kind of by accident. Is normally when I'm swinging this, I'll do this, but here I went a little bit more to the left to not actually hit the ground, right? So if I'm swinging with a heavy one, I'm not gonna do a strike like this. It's very inefficient. Should not be doing angle like this. If anything, the angle should be here. Why? Because look, the difference. I have to pull all of my muscle to just fucking stop this thing. Like, okay, if I like really try to swing it down at somebody, and let me try to actually like stop it before it hits the ground. Nah. No, not gonna fucking happen. Wait. No. You just can't. You just can't. So what you gotta do is you gotta adjust it, the angle, to do something like this. And then it's a completely different procedure to even try to stop this thing, right? So what I did there is I did this. Here, I went with my arm. I let this go, so this can just fly off, and then I'm gonna go back, right? So this is the problem. At the beginning, you don't have enough strength to swing this. After you get the strength to swing this, you don't have enough strength to stop it. And you could tell me, okay, then what if I have the strength to stop it? Well, I don't know. I never had it, and I don't think I probably ever will. So that is a slight issue, you could say. But now let's back after this not very brief introduction, and let's get back to swinging. So how should you use this? Well, again, there are two styles: both arm, one arm. I'm gonna show you a little bit of both. Now, what do you want to do with this one? If you do normal swings, normal like with a light one, you know, you could do something like this. Now, the big difference is in the middle of the swing, not at the beginning, not at the end, in the middle of a swing, you should always, I'm telling you, not use your grip. Here, you definitely should, because if you stop using your grip in the middle, like if you really do this, it's just really gonna fly off. It's not gonna be nice. You don't gonna have the strength, the speed, and anything, right? And then, like, yes, it can be efficient, but it's not gonna be a good form. Like, this is not a good form. this is a better form. Why? Because I have control, and that's the biggest problem, right? With anything that's small and not that heavy, a control is the easiest part. Because it's so light, you can change the direction, the speed, whatever, at however you want, right? Here, here, or maybe here, oh actually, oh, right, here, 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 right? It's not a problem. You cannot do that with this, because it's just too heavy. If you try to swing direction, you gotta stop it, start it, and then stop it again. And the problem is not starting, the stopping it, then you have to stop it twice. So that's really bad. So with this, you try to think of like knights. So how often would you see knights doing something like this? Like, I don't know, a fake, or um, like a very cool anime move, like, I don't know. Like something, like, let's say in anime, they very often do something like clashing with each other, something like this, like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, and they have like the swords here, which is, first of all, not how it really works, but whatever. So they clash, and they go back, and they what they do next is do something like this, right? They boom, they strike each other. That's not really gonna happen with this. So what technically, it if you watch like some, let's say, some very, not these days, lately, or like, oh, old movies, you're gonna see that they look way less flashy. And this is probably because, in at least the ones I know, they use real swords, also not like real, but in not sharp ones. By the way, not getting hit by a non-sharp metal sword still hurts like fuck. So that's that. Now, what was I saying? Well, yeah. Coming back to this thing. If you're swinging something heavy, you're gonna see it a lot there. They don't have like these flashy moves, really cool stuff, like with lightsabers. Have you ever wondered why lightsabers look so cool other than like normal swords? They don't weigh anything, right? So because they don't weigh anything, you can just swing them around like this. And when a real thing actually does weigh something, it's much harder to swing something like this. So that's why in some very old movies, you're gonna see um, fighting not be done in a like a cool, fast, boom, 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 boom way. You're gonna see more of a this, right? Something like that was actually just horrible, fucking terrifying. But because I just don't like training with this, it's not my style, and I can't do it. But the point I'm trying to make this by just saying this all over and over again, it's not just about the weight. Not really. It's not that by getting stronger, you can swing this like that. If you get like incomprehensibly strong, I guess, yeah, if you can, like, I don't know, if you have like a grip strength of mythical figures or something, you maybe can. But the idea is, this is much, much, much more complicated than anything else, because you gotta do everything else on top of trying to control this with your actual arms, which is much more tiring and much more annoying. So that was, all of this was kind of where I'm getting, is I'm trying to show you what's the kind of, a little bit of a small difference, I would say. I'm kind of yapping left and right, but yeah, that's that. So now let's go to actual swings, because I'm saying all of this because the thing I may be showing you now is you're gonna be looking at this and being like, bro, why would anybody do this? The other stuff looks so much cooler. And you're right. And you're absolutely right. But sometimes you just have to, right? You cannot play at the playground for all your life. You gotta go to work and you gotta actually do fucking something. And this is the time I feel like I should be starting doing actually something. So let's do it. So, what you wanna do? The form is a little bit different because normally you can just stand whatever you want. Here you actually gotta keep your legs kinda contained so you're not gonna fall over. So the way I like to do this, I put my right a little bit forward, my left a little bit back, somewhere the same region around my center of weight, so I can keep stable. And every single time I strike, I'm gonna take a little bit of a step with both. Now this is because if you don't do it, your whole body is gonna move forward. If you do it, what you can do is move. It's hard to understand without you actually trying it. So try to take something heavy, and try to swing it normally, like this, while standing, gripping it very tightly. This is a big difference. You have to grip it, not like these ones, which you don't. This one you do. So you grip it, you go here, and you. It does take quite a bit from you to swing this. Now, I'm gonna try to do the exact same with actually just the smallest step you ever see. It's genuinely just this. But you gotta time it in the middle. So when you're swinging this, I'm gonna try to move a little bit of a step here, so with my right, and here with my left, so that it kind of sounds weird, but you're kind of directing the energy from the sword to your kind of legs, so you're not gonna have to do that much work. You really have to try it to understand it, to see how it works. So again, the big difference is this. You see how much of my muscles, especially my forearms, I have to use to stop this. If I do this, even the smallest thing, all you have to do is just practice again and again until you actually get it. So it's just like the minuscule step, but it has to be timed. So if you do this well, you get something like this, right? And you gotta basically do this for everything. So everything you wanna do, as smallest step, except when you're using both. And now this is the difference. Because you're using both, you don't actually need to do the step. You also can do it, you don't have to. So with one arm, it's much harder to do this, right? But with two, I can still do it, right? So even if I stand still, I don't have to. Now, would I advise doing it with both? Yes. I don't really see a reason why you would not want to. You can, but you probably should. So what you can do is kind of do it half. So if I'm trying to do a left diagonal, from left up to right down, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wind up here, and I'm gonna take a little bit of a step, exactly the same thing, but only with my left, not with my right. My right is gonna stay planted here, and what I'm gonna do is here, and I'm gonna step up now, because it's just, you're gonna have to see that while you're taking the step, your body is automatically gonna fall down, right? So right now I'm standing. If I take my left leg up, see what's going on? I'm going down. Even the slightest bit, I'm falling because I don't have the ground here anymore. So when you're swinging, every kind of a little bit of a momentum you can gain is very good, because you don't have to use that much of your airway, just grip or everything together. So if I'm doing this normally, again, you can do this totally fine with both without doing any of this. So if you want to practice with both, you can do that. Just this. right? You can do it because you have so much strength. So you get a good angle, you go here, and there you go. Now, what I did is always try to do, even if it's the smallest possible step, you should still do it. So if I'm gonna do a left one again, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna take my left leg off here, I'm gonna add the momentum of this. You see, if I swing this, it's that. I'm gonna swing at the exact same power. So this, and then you see how much faster that was? Because all I'm doing is falling down. And not only does it help you with stopping it really, because you're kind of getting rid of the momentum of um, um, it's kind of, it's honestly, it's just good. Yeah, I can find multiple reasons why you would do it. Honestly, you should just do it. That's the conclusion. So I'm gonna be swinging with this, so every single time I do it, this just makes me faster and easier to control, right? So this, like that. Now, let's talk about the downward strike. That one is a little bit different. So if you're using a light one, like this, a downward strike is really hard. Why? Because this can wobble in so many ways, and it's actually really hard to control, because you have more power, because even just the slightest touch can do it, can move it here, left, right, and then you're completely cooked. So getting a very good downward strike with something light is actually surprisingly hard. Right? Something like this. It's very hard, and it took me years to just get this, which probably tells you by how untalented I am. But you can't have everything. Now, wait, did it fall down? Oh no, it did a little bit. Okay, let me get it up. That's good. Now, this bad boy is surprisingly easier and harder at the same time, because getting it down and keeping it down is easier, not because it's actually easier, but because it's so much hard to control this thing while it's in the air, that if you actually just start from the middle, it's very hard to not end up on the middle at the down. The big problem is, again, how the fuck do you stop this thing, right? If you actually swing it down, like where do you go? You cannot just go there. I would not recommend that. You cannot, I mean, I guess you could do this, but that's not really a downward strike. That's more of a this. So why would you go down? You could just go here. You see? So the way you would do a downward strike, which is kind of useless honestly, unless you're actually gonna hit something. So what you're gonna be doing is, again, the leg technique, which is move it a little bit up and go down. So here, boom. Now how do you go? How do you stop it? Well, there are two ways. Either you just tank it, which I basically do because I so far have not been able to come up with a way to stop this, or you just actually just move it away, like, or you can just slam it down. Like this is one of the things you can actually do it. So if you really want to smash something, you can just do this. You can, and it kind of works. Would I recommend it? It's very bad for your arms, but if you want, why not, I guess. But yeah, a normal downward strike with one arm, it's not possible. With both, yep. Can I actually go here? No. Hmm. yeah, it this the shit whatever, it does take it out on your arms, that is for sure. They're not looking very healthy, but it's surprisingly good because I've been swinging this so much. It's my fingers are quite tough now, so it doesn't hurt as much. Oh, I did forget to mention, if you do not enjoy a lot of pain, yeah, you don't touch this. The amount of actual pain you're gonna feel on your fingers and your skin, especially the burning sensation, the just it getting tense, much harder, warm, terrible, the amount of things you're gonna feel just to get the grip right on this thing and hold it fucking still is so unbelievable. Like I think I tried learning this thing like 8 times and I worked out once, just because if you swing it for like a month, it's so hard to keep your fingers straight after this and your mind actually responsibly usable, because it's taking so much out of you. Every single swing requires you stopping it, and you stopping it requires you to actually stop this weight with just your forearms basically, and just your arms. Which, yes, you'll say, oh, that's cool, my arms are gonna get stronger, but on the other hand, they're not really gonna get stronger in the way you want. Like, let's say you were training for I don't know, bodybuilding. Would I recommend swinging a heavy stick? Absolutely fucking not. It's extremely inefficient, because yes, you're using a shit ton of your muscles, basically all of your body, to just swing this. Because again, starting it, I'm gonna keep repeating this, starting it, not a problem, stopping it is a problem. So if you want to stop it, you're gonna be using basically every single part of your muscles of your body. So if I just swing like this down, just me stopping this requires me to tense up all of my chest, shoulders, abs, back and legs. So if you just do this, yeah. So this is a big this is an extremely good exercise, not for muscles, not for your looks, not for the size of your arms, but it's definitely the biggest exercise for your forearms. If you want a forearm exercise that will actually get your forearms surprisingly massive, take this thing and you can do, I can show you a technique I was doing to try to get my arms to actually be able to use this thing. And that technique, I called it how did I call it? It's something like a whirl, like a circle, something like that. I forgot. The idea is very simple. Surprisingly simple, you'll think. It's just do this. Grab it here, basically at the end of the handle. I get a very good grip on it. Squeeze it till you actually feel your fucking bones on this. So already fucking hurts just by holding this. And what you wanna do next is this. Yeah, this is an extreme. I am extremely out of shape right now because I haven't swung this thing in a while. But holy fuck, yeah, my forearms are still quite small given how they should be. But yeah, if you want a forearm exercise, that thing is gonna work way too fucking well. Now, I would say this was a pretty hefty one. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go train. Well, yeah. Can't really say anything right now. Except for I hope that kind of introduced a sort. Didn't really give you much idea today. Not much training. But I just wanted to show the kind of a mental and very basic differences between the both. Well, I guess my phone doesn't even want to look at it anymore. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna show you the sunset. Not really the most beautiful thing, but oh, not here. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there you go. You have the three musketeers. Two of them are broken. I mean, actually, three of them are broken. As you can see at the end here, this thing is also snapped off. I did mention why it's snapped off in some episodes. You're probably not gonna find it, and nobody cares really anyway. So I'm gonna try to do the probability episode. Maybe I'm gonna try to edit it, but yeah, that was it. There you go. Wakanda forever.